Stop for a moment, just pause. I want you to recall a specific memory. Think of the last time you walked into a room, a silent room, and you knew something was wrong. Or that something wonderful had just happened. No one said a word. No one even looked at you. But you felt it. A thickness in the air. A sudden lightness. A current of unspoken tension. If this experience feels deeply familiar, if you've ever thought, I can read the room, this isn't just a quirky personality trait, it is a sign of a profound and often misunderstood cognitive ability. You might feel like you have invisible antennae, constantly scanning the emotional landscape around you. When you're around happy, calm people, you feel lighter, almost buoyant. Their ease becomes your ease. But when you enter a space where there's been a silent argument or where someone is hiding deep anxiety, it can feel like walking through mud. The weight of those unexpressed emotions seeps into you. It's exhausting. It can feel like a heavy blanket you never asked to wear. People might have called you too sensitive or told you to not take things so personally. But what they don't understand is that it doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like a fundamental part of how you experience the world. So what's actually happening here? This isn't magic or a psychic power. It's a matter of brain wiring and heightened perception. Let's start with something called mirror neurons. Think of them as your brain's internal Wi-Fi. They fire not only when you perform an action, but also when you see someone else perform that same action. This is why you might wince when you see someone trip, or feel a hint of a smile when you see a genuine laugh. For people who can feel the vibe of a room, this system is turned up to 11. You're not just mirroring obvious actions, you're mirroring micro-expressions. A slight clenching of a jaw, a flicker of sadness in the eyes that lasts less than a second, a subtle shift in posture. Your brain picks up this flood of non-verbal data and synthesizes it into a single, intuitive feeling. That's the shift you sense. Then there's the concept of emotional contagion. Emotions, especially strong ones, can spread through a group, much like a yawn. Your highly perceptive brain is simply more susceptible to catching these ambient feelings from the environment. This is a key part of what Dr. Elaine Aron identified as the trait of the highly sensitive person, or HSP. It's not a disorder, it's a temperament. HSPs have a nervous system that is wired for a greater depth of processing. You don't just notice more details, you process all information more deeply. So that shift you feel in the room, it's the result of your brain rapidly processing an immense amount of subtle social and environmental cues that others might miss. The challenge then isn't to turn this ability off. That's impossible. The goal is to learn how to manage the stream of information so you don't drown in it. Here are a few simple micro-actions you can practice. They work instantly. First, name it to tame it. The moment you feel that shift, give it a simple, neutral label in your mind. Instead of just feeling a wave of anxiety, mentally say, I am sensing tension in this room, or this is the feeling of excitement. This simple act of labeling creates a tiny but crucial space between you and the emotion. You become the observer of the feeling, not the vessel for it. Second, ask the ownership question. Once you've labeled the feeling, ask yourself one simple question. Is this mine? Is this anxiety mine, or did I pick it up from the person next to me? Is this frustration mine, or is it residual energy from a meeting that just ended? Often you'll find the emotion doesn't belong to you. Simply acknowledging that this isn't mine gives your system permission to let it go. Third, use a physical anchor. When the energetic noise is too loud, your body is your best tool for grounding yourself in the present. Bring your full attention to a physical sensation. Feel the solid ground beneath your feet. Notice the texture of the fabric on your sleeve. Clasp your hands and feel the warmth of your skin. This instantly pulls your focus out of the abstract world of emotion and back into the physical reality of your own body. It's an immediate reset button. Fourth, practice gentle filtering. This is a small visualization you can do before entering a space you know might be overwhelming. Close your eyes for just a second. Imagine a soft, semi-permeable bubble of light around you. It's not a hard wall to keep everyone out. It's a gentle filter. Its job is to let in connection, conversation, and warmth but to gently dissolve any harsh, chaotic, or overwhelming energy before it reaches you. This sets an intention for your nervous system. It's a way of telling yourself, I am open, but I am also protected. But now we come to the most important, most powerful piece of advice. If you take only one thing away from this video, let it be this. Your sensitivity is a sense, not a responsibility. Read that again. Your sensitivity is a sense, like hearing or smell. It is not your responsibility to manage or fix the source of the sensation. If you walked into a room and smelled smoke, you wouldn't feel that the smell itself was your burden to carry. You would recognize it as information, data. The data tells you there might be a fire. It informs your next action. Maybe you investigate, maybe you leave. The smell itself isn't the problem, it's just the signal. This is the most critical reframe you can make. The emotional atmosphere you feel is just data. That feeling of tension is data that tells you people in this room are stressed. Tread gently. That feeling of unspoken joy is data that tells you this is a safe space to be open and connect. Your job is not to absorb the tension. It is not your job to fix whatever caused it. It is not your job to be the emotional caretaker for every person in every room. Your only job is to notice the data and decide with wisdom what you want to do with it for your own well-being. This shifts you from being a passive victim of the emotional environment to an empowered navigator of it. This trait of feeling the room is not a flaw or a weakness. It is a form of quiet intelligence. It's a superpower that has been running on autopilot, and now you are learning to fly it manually. When you walk into a room, take a breath, feel the shift, label it, check if it's yours, and then remember the most important part. It is just information. Use it to guide you, not to define you. Just slow down, notice, and remember it's not yours to carry.